Hi everybody, it's Tatiana, and today I'm coming to do my April wrap up. Goodness gracious. It is the month of May, and it seemed to get here so fast, even though the months seem to be going by slow. In the month of April, I read 7 things, 4 of which were graphic novels. The first book that I read this month was The Book of Harlem by Bernice L. McFadden. I do have a full review of this that I will link above if you are interested in checking that out. I absolutely loved this book for where it's set in history and the obvious passion that went into Bernice L. McFadden's writing of this novel. And Bernice McFadden is one of those authors that you don't get book after book after book right after the other. She takes the time to put and craft her novels together, and it's so evident in every one that you read. This is no exception. I'm still sleeping with Harlem in my bed. I just can't let him go yet. So yes, I absolutely love this, and this was released, or is being released, May 3rd. I'm recording this on May 2nd, so I don't know if I'm gonna get this up tonight or not, but if it doesn't come up on May 2nd, that means it's coming up on May 3rd. It is released. Go get it. You won't regret it. After reading the Book of Harlem, I went into a major reading slump, like book hangover situation, and it took a lot for me to get out of it. And in my attempt to get out of it, I read The 12 Tribes of Hattie as an audiobook, which I enjoyed. It was different. If you are unfamiliar with the story, it actually follows more so Hattie's children than Hattie herself, hence the 12 tribes, and the issues that they have in life as a result of the difficulty that they felt in their relationship with their mother as they were younger. But you get to see why Hattie is the way she is and come to an understanding of her, as well as just getting to see glimpses of her children throughout the course of the story. And I really enjoyed this, and I got this as an audiobook from the library, hoping that would help get me out of my reading slump, and it really kind of sort of did not. What helped me get out of my reading slump was Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. This is the second book in the Infernal Devices trilogy, the next of which and final book is Clockwork Princess, which I will probably be reading in May. Really enjoyed this as well. I actually picked up from the library Lady Midnight, which is Cassandra Clare's most recent release, and within the first 30 pages of Lady Midnight read what is a spoiler as part of this series. So I stopped and I went ahead and took that back to the library because I want to finish this first before lesson learned. I will finish this first and then read the 7th book in the Mortal Instruments series, because I read books 1 through 6, and then go to Lady Midnight and maybe read some more of the Bane Chronicles, we'll see, and then go to Lady Midnight. Also in the month of April was the Dewey 24-hour Readathon, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself in participating in that. This was the second time that I participated, and I did not, some people have uploaded vlogs of what they did. I did not vlog. What I did do was do updates on Snapchat, which just really helped everything move along for me during the 24 hours. I did not have the full day to read. I think I read about 10 hours out of the day, 10 to 12 hours, because I know I had to work that morning, and then I had a couple of things to get squared away after that, and so I did not really start reading until close to 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and the readathon started in my area at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was also tired because I had to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning to work for 5 hours, and so I took a nap somewhere in there as well, and I stayed up as late as I possibly could until my eyes started crossing, and then I went to sleep and woke back up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to finish it out. I cannot remember what my page count was. I will put a caption with that in it. But yeah, if you are not following me on Snapchat and you are interested in seeing book updates, life updates, and just silly shit that I do. By all means, go follow me on Snapchat. My username there is the same as it is here, Musical Tati. And yeah, I have really enjoyed connecting with some other members of the BookTube community through Snapchat, just as I have connected with them on YouTube. So I was anti-Snapchat when it first came out, not anymore. So during the Dewey 24-hour readathon, I finished Clockwork Prince, and then everything else I read was in graphic novel form, which is the way to go with the readathon, and also really helped me get out of my reading slump. So I read Yummy, The Last Days of a Southside Shorty by G. Neri, and I had not heard of this. I actually saw it in the library when I just went through, and I just really looked out the last time I went to the library. I have, I think, a quick library haul video. I'll link that if you're interested in seeing all of the graphic novels that I got on that trip. But I hadn't heard about this, and I can't even properly verbalize what this really made me feel and think about for the time frame that it happened. I was a kid during this time frame. I did not grow up in this area, but just to think about the pathology of our society, and at that point, and how innocent people get caught in gang fire, and how gangs prey on the minds and the emotions of the young. And then to see that in this novel, and just how young he was to have fallen into the life that he fell into, which ended his life abruptly short. It was just really, really sad and sadly relatable, if that makes any sense, but definitely well worth reading. And then on the lighter end of the spectrum, I read Miss Marvel volumes 1, 2, and 3. And that was everything that I read for the Dewey 24-hour readathon, The Struggle Today. Like I said, I just got back today. So when I got back from Tennessee, I went to Barnes & Noble, because what else do you do when you get off the road and you want books? You go to Barnes & Noble. And so I picked up Corbin Dallas pop figurine from The Fifth Element. I really wanted Lilu, but Corbin was the only one that they had. That's not true. They had Corbin Dallas and they had Mangalore. Yeah, as well. And I picked one over the other. If they had had Lilu, I would have gotten both, but they didn't, so I got Corbin. I also picked up The Skull Throne by Peter V. Brett. This is the 4th book in the Demon Cycle trilogy series. It's not a trilogy if it's got 4 books. And it's just been released in paperback, and now that I have this, I can finally read The Daylight War and not feel like I have to wait forever to get The Skull Throne. So super excited about that. I've been waiting for this to be released in mass market paperback so I could pick it up. I also got volume 3 of Lumberjanes, which I am looking forward to reading and will probably be reading super duper soon, like tonight. And I picked up an Alice in Wonderland coloring book. What made me fall in love really with Alice in Wonderland is the movie with Johnny Depp as the Mad Hatter. I liked the cartoon, but I didn't really get into it. Like, I watched the cartoon and then I really wanted to read the stories, which I still haven't done yet. It's on the list. But after seeing the one with Johnny Depp as the Mad Hatter, I love Johnny Depp, but I loved it. Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter in the same movie. I couldn't have been happier. So yeah, I went ahead and picked this up as well because it was also on sale. So it was in the bargain section. I also started The Polished Toe by Austin Clarke. I don't have that book in hand because it's still in my suitcase because I haven't unpacked yet. But the read-along for that was this month, or the month of April, and that was hosted or done by Dee Dee over at Brown Girl Reading and Steven at Steve Reads Books. And they did a live show. They did 2 live shows bringing in Kia from Kia Comments, who I believe is from Barbados, I think. So I was able to catch the first live show actually live, and I was really struggling with reading the book. It is literary fiction, and it's more character-based than plot-based, and I don't read a lot of character-based stories. I do enjoy a plot, and so I was struggling to read it prior to the live show. And after watching the live show, it really helped me retool and rethink how I was receiving the book, and that helped me get some more reading done. The only reason why I'm not finished is because the last 4 days of April were absorbed with prepping the final preps and things for my sister's wedding. So, but I am into part 3 of that, so I will be finishing that very soon this month. And then the only other books that I really have planned to read for the month of May are Clockwork Princess and Lumberjanes Volume 3. Whatever else happens, catch me at the end of the month to see what I read. And I thank you all for watching. I thank you for sticking with me to the end of this long video. And I hope you all have a good weekend whenever you see this video. Peace out.